Stop, do not scroll, do not blink. And whatever you do, do not spend these coins. You are watching SF Coins, and today I'm exposing the top 3 most valuable wheat penny coins that look ordinary, boring, and worthless, but are secretly hidden wealth. These are the exact coins people are tossing into jars, spending at gas stations, and losing every single day without realizing they're holding a silent fortune. Some tiny details make the coin special, and collectors are fighting behind closed doors to get them. Real auction shock. Nobody talks about these. If you have these coins, it means you're holding a fortune. Each coin I'm about to show you gets bigger, rarer, and more dangerous. To ignore these old coins are big treasures, quiet wealth holding in plain sight. Check your pocket. Now, do not spend these coins. Stay with me till the end, because the last one changes everything. Coin no. Point 1. The 1939 wheat penny without a mint mark is a powerful piece of pre-World War II American history. A small copper coin struck at a time when the world was standing on the edge of global conflict and the United States was slowly recovering from the Great Depression. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary brown 1-cent coin, but behind its simple round shape lies a dramatic story of industry, survival, and economic transition. This coin was produced by the United States Mint, and because there is no mint mark beneath the date, it was struck at the historic facility in Philadelphia. During 1939, the United States of America was still rebuilding from the hardships of the 1930s while watching Europe move toward war. Pennies like this one moved constantly through grocery stores, factories, and neighborhood shops, representing real purchasing power during difficult times. The coin is composed primarily of bronze, a copper-based alloy that gave new sense of bright reddish glow when they left the mint. Over decades, most examples toned to brown due to circulation and natural oxidation. On the front appears the enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of unity and resilience during national crisis. The design was created by Victor David Brenner and had already become one of the most recognizable images in American coinage by 1939. The reverse displays 2 wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent, representing agricultural strength and economic stability. The wheat reverse had been in use since 1909 and would continue until 1958, making the 1939 issue part of the mature years of this iconic design. Philadelphia struck hundreds of millions of cents in 1939, meaning most examples found today are common in circulated grades. Because these coins were heavily used, many surviving 1939 pennies show were on Lincoln's hair, cheek, and jawline, as well as flattened wheat stalk tips. Coins discovered in jars or inherited collections may appear dirty, dark, or scratched. However, cleaning such coins can permanently damage their surfaces and significantly reduce collector value. Original surfaces, even if toned brown, are far more desirable than polished ones. The true value of 1939 no mint mark wheat penny depends largely on condition. A heavily circulated example may only be worth a small premium above face value. However, uncirculated coins with strong original red luster can command much higher prices. Coins graded in high mint state levels are significantly scarcer because most were released directly into commerce during a time when few people saved rolls for the future. Collectors also search for varieties and mint errors. Certain double-die varieties from 1939, especially from other mints, are highly sought after. While the Philadelphia issue is generally common, rare high-grade or unusual error examples can sell for impressive amounts. That is where real collector excitement begins. Not in ordinary worn coins, but in rare, authenticated pieces. It is important to address exaggerated claims. A standard circulated 1939 penny will not make someone a billionaire overnight. Stories promising millions for every old coin create unrealistic expectations. However, exceptional condition coins, rare errors, or perfectly preserved red specimens can reach hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on demand and grading. The historical context adds depth to this coin. In 1939, Europe entered World War II. Although the United States had not yet joined the conflict, economic production was beginning to shift. Within just a few years, The composition of the cent would temporarily change in 1943 to zinc-coated steel due to copper shortages. That makes the 1939 penny one of the final pre-war bronze cents before metal conservation efforts reshaped coinage. From a global perspective, copper coinage has existed for more than 5,000 years. Ancient civilizations in Asia and the Mediterranean region used copper and bronze pieces for trade long before modern mints existed. The 1939 wheat penny stands within that ancient tradition of copper money, small, durable, and practical for everyday commerce. The Lincoln cent itself holds a special place in American history because it was the first regular circulating U.S. coin to feature a real historical person rather than a symbolic figure. By 1939, it had already survived 3 decades of economic shifts and was firmly established as a national symbol. Today, the thrill of coin collecting lies in careful inspection. Checking dates, studying mint marks, examining luster under light, and identifying possible varieties are what separate casual holders from knowledgeable collectors. If someone believes they have a high-grade 1939 penny, professional grading can confirm its status and unlock stronger market value. Even worn examples still carry historical charm. Each scratch and mark tells a story of hands that exchanged it during a fragile economic period. The coin may have bought bread, stamps, or newspapers on the eve of World War. While it is extremely unlikely that an average 1939 no-mint mark wheat penny will sell for millions, rare top-grade survivors absolutely hold meaningful collector value. The key is knowledge, preservation, and realistic understanding of the coin market. In the end, the 1939 wheat penny is more than copper in design. It is a small circular time capsule from a tense and transformative year in world history. Its value may not create instant fortune, but its story, heritage, and potential in exceptional condition make it a coin always worth examining carefully before spending. The 1927 wheat penny without a mint mark is one of those quiet survivors of American history, a small copper coin that traveled through the final years of the Roaring '20s before the world economy changed forever, carrying with it the energy of an era filled with growth, optimism, and hidden financial tension. This coin was struck by the United States Mint, and because it shows no mint mark beneath the date, it was produced at the historic Mint in Philadelphia, the original minting facility of the nation. In 1927, the United States of America was experiencing industrial expansion, jazz culture, and rising stock markets, and small coins like this penny were moving constantly through daily commerce. The coin is composed primarily of bronze, a copper-based alloy that gave new pennies a bright red glow when they left the mint, though most surviving examples today appear brown due to oxidation and circulation. On the obverse appears the dignified portrait of Abraham Lincoln, introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of his birth and designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse features 2 wheat stalks framing the denomination, symbolizing agricultural strength and national prosperity during a decade of economic growth. Philadelphia produced tens of millions of 1927 cents, meaning most examples encountered today are common in circulated condition. These coins were heavily used for everyday purchases, from newspapers to groceries, long before collectors began saving them in large numbers. Because of heavy circulation, many 1927 pennies show wear on Lincoln's hair, cheekbone, and the wheat stalk tips, often appearing scratched or dull. Coins discovered in old jars or inherited collections may look dirty or dark, but cleaning them can permanently damage their natural surfaces and reduce collector value. The true value of a 1927 no-mint mark penny depends almost entirely on condition and rarity of specific varieties. High-grade, uncirculated examples with strong original red luster are far scarcer than worn brown coins and can command significantly higher prices. Collectors also examine coins closely for double dyes, repunched mint marks on other issues, or die cracks that may increase interest. While dramatic online stories sometimes promise overnight millions, the reality is that most circulated 1927 pennies are modestly valued. However, exceptionally preserved coins graded at the highest mint state levels can sell for impressive amounts because pristine survivors from the 1920s are difficult to find. The historical context adds depth. Since this coin represents America just 2 years before the 1929 stock market crash and the Great Depression, each penny may have passed through the hands of workers, shopkeepers, and families during a time of cultural change and technological advancement. The Wheat Penny series itself ran from 1909 to 1958, making 1927 part of its early and vibrant middle period. Globally, copper coinage has existed for more than 5,000 years, dating back to ancient civilizations that used bronze and copper pieces for trade. The 1927 penny stands within that long global tradition of copper currency, linking modern collectors to thousands of years of monetary evolution. The Lincoln cent was also historically significant because it was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than a symbolic image. Professional grading plays a crucial role in determining the highest values, since even tiny differences in surface quality can mean large price differences. Even worn examples still carry nostalgic and historical appeal for collectors who appreciate coins connected to the 1920s. The excitement of coin collecting lies in careful observation and the possibility of discovering a rare high-grade survivor. Although it is extremely unlikely that a standard circulated 1927 penny will make someone a billionaire overnight, rare varieties or near-perfect examples can certainly be worth far more than face value. Understanding realistic market expectations helps protect collectors from exaggerated claims and unrealistic promises. The true treasure of the 1927 Wheat Penny lies in its artistry, its historical setting, and its journey through nearly a century of American life. Its simple round copper form carries stories of prosperity, change, and resilience within its worn surfaces. In the end, this humble 1-cent coin reminds us that even ordinary pocket change can hold extraordinary history for those willing to look closely before spending it. Next up, the 1924 Wheat Penny without a mint mark is one of those early 20th century copper coins that quietly carries nearly a century of American history within its small round frame. At first glance, it may look like just another old brown cent, but when you understand its era, its design, and its survival through generations of circulation, you begin to see why collectors still search for this date with excitement. This coin was struck by the United States Mint, and because there is no mint mark beneath the date, it was produced at the historic Mint in Philadelphia. During 1924, the United States of America was deep into the Roaring Twenties, a decade of economic growth, industrial expansion, and cultural transformation. Pennies were heavily used in daily life, and 1 cent had real buying power at that time. The 1924 cent is composed primarily of bronze, a copper-based alloy that gave freshly minted coins a bright red glow. Over decades, most examples toned to brown due to oxidation and handling. The front of the coin features the enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln, introduced in 1909 and designed by Victor David Brenner. This portrait marked a turning point in American coinage because it was the first time a real historical figure appeared on a regular circulating U.S. coin. The reverse displays 2 wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent, symbolizing agricultural strength and national stability. The wheat reverse design ran from 1909 to 1958, making the 1924 issue part of the early middle years of this iconic series. Philadelphia struck a substantial number of cents in 1924, meaning most examples found today are common in circulated grades. Because these coins were used extensively, surviving pieces often show where on Lincoln's hair, cheek, and jawline, as well as flattened wheat stalk details. Coins discovered in jars, boxes, or inherited collections may appear dark, scratched, or dirty. However, cleaning such coins can permanently damage their original surfaces and significantly reduce collector value. Original patina, even if brown, is far more desirable than a polished shine. The true value of a 1924 no mint mark penny depends primarily on condition. A heavily circulated example may carry only a modest premium above face value. However, uncirculated coins with strong original red luster are significantly scarcer and can command much higher prices. Coins graded at the highest mint state levels are especially desirable because few were saved in pristine condition during the 1920s. Collectors also examine 1924 pennies for die cracks, subtle doubled features, or other minting anomalies that may increase interest. While the 1924D from Denver is known for being scarcer in high grades, the Philadelphia issue without mint mark is generally more available, though exceptional specimens remain challenging to find. It is important to separate excitement from exaggeration. A standard circulated 1924 penny will not make someone a billionaire overnight. Claims of millions for ordinary worn coins are unrealistic. However, rare high-grade examples or unique mint errors can reach impressive auction prices, sometimes in the thousands, depending on preservation and demand. The historical background of 1924 adds emotional depth. This was a time of technological progress, growing automobile ownership, and expanding cities. Within just a few years, the optimism of the 1920s would collapse into the Great Depression. That means every 1924 penny represents a world on the edge of dramatic change. From a broader perspective, copper coinage has existed for over 5,000 years. Ancient civilizations across Asia, the Middle East, and Europe use copper and bronze coins for daily trade. The 1924 wheat penny stands within that ancient tradition of small-denomination copper currency that supports everyday commerce. The Lincoln Cent itself has survived world wars, economic crises, metal shortages, and design changes. By holding a 1924 penny, you are holding a direct link to early 20th century America. Even worn examples carry character and history, reflecting the countless hands through which they passed. Today, the market rewards knowledge and preservation. Coins with sharp detail, minimal contact marks, and original luster are far more valuable than damaged or clean pieces. Professional grading services can confirm authenticity and condition, often unlocking stronger market prices for top-quality coins. While most 1924 no-mint mark pennies remain affordable collectibles, the thrill of discovery keeps collectors searching rolls and collections. The possibility of finding a beautifully preserved red example or a rare error adds excitement to the hunt. In the end, the 1924 wheat penny is not just a 1-cent coin. It is a small circular time capsule from the Roaring '20s, a symbol of craftsmanship, history, and resilience. It may not instantly change your fortune, but in exceptional condition, it absolutely holds meaningful collector value. Its true power lies in its story, its survival, and the history stamped into its copper surface nearly a century ago.